Hello, believers of Christ. Hope you're doing well. So today I'll be taking you guys through Genesis chapter 7, verse 4. And it says, 7 days from now I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. And I will wipe from the face of the earth every living creature I have made. That's the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So this verse has 7 main teachings or lessons we can take away from it. The first one, God provides warning before judgment. The 7 days notice gave Noah time to prepare and obey, showing God's patience and justice. God gives opportunity to respond before consequences come, as seen in 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. That's a spoiler, we'll get there. The second teaching, judgment is certain. God clearly states that every living substance will be destroyed, or every living creature will be destroyed, emphasizing the seriousness of disobedience and sin. Yes, everything was meant to be destroyed, every creature. The third teaching, faith requires urgent response. The limited time frame of 7 days urges prompt action by Noah. Faith often demands immediate obedience when God gives instructions. Yes, faith demands obedience immediately and to the letter and to the point when it's instructed by God. The fourth teaching, God's justice is absolute. The flood demonstrated that persistent corruption and sin will not go unpunished. God's justice is both righteous and inevitable. Yes, God is inevitable. You can't escape God's judgment. Nobody can escape God's judgment. It is just and inevitable. The fifth teaching, God controls nature and history. He declares the timing and duration of the flood, showing that nothing escapes his sovereign control. Yes, God is omniscient, all-powerful, and God is in control of our lives and nature and history. And nature and history bends to God's will. The sixth teaching, obedience protects us from judgment. Noah's adherence to God's plan ensured survival despite the coming destruction. Yes, the fact that Noah obeyed God's plan and obeyed God's instructions, that's what protected them, him and his family, and the other living creatures from the judgment of the flood waters. The seventh and final teaching, God balances patience with action. 7 days of warning reflect God's patience, but the flood itself reflects his decisiveness. Yes, God is a God of decision making. He makes decisions, and once God has made a decision, it's very hard to change his mind. Yeah. We as Christians should take God's warnings seriously because they are opportunities to act. We as Christians should understand the seriousness of persistent sin and corruption. We as Christians should act with urgency when God directs us. We as Christians should trust God's sovereignty over nature and circumstances. We as Christians should understand obedience shields us from the consequences of judgment. We as Christians should recognize God's justice and respond with righteousness. We as Christians should value God's patience, but we should not delay to obey him. So that's all I had for today, guys. Thank you very much, and as usual, God bless.